Where every time we see this guy, he looks even crazier than before. And that's putting it nicely. Alright, it's time to finish his crazy ass off. I take off the cloth wrapped around my face and look in the mirror. The ugly, burnt surface really reflects my human nature. It's distorted even when I smile or get angry. It's ugly no matter what. I realize what a clever metaphor it is the more I look at my face. It looks like a rotten pig's face. But people sure are strange. My face is strangely popular as an honorable wound and proof of courage. I don't get it. I think it's more popular than my old face. I may be more handsome now. Ugh. Does this mean I've been living until now with an ugly face with a worse impression than this? So my previous face was so ugly that it's rather fortunate that my face got burnt up, huh? Man, how did I manage not to kill myself before? I didn't know. I was thoughtless. I want to praise my previous self for managing to live with an uglier face than now. I'm sure nobody else would praise me unless I do. Man, was I dreadful. Nozomi calls out to me while I'm paying respect to my previous self as I tend to my burn.
別に
I wrap the cloth back on and turn to Nozomi. She's staring at me without trying to hide her large boobs. I go near her, squeeze on one hard, and dig my nails into it, but Nozomi's so used to it now that she doesn't react. How boring.
ねえ、クワガタさんは行かないの?
Nozomi looks at me in wonder.
どこになんで
私のお母さんが
Oh, the person you told him to rape and then kill. Okay, yeah, but let's not dig up the past. Her mom was one of the members of the Daiichi Society who came and surrendered that other day. I completely forgot about it because I only paid attention to the fact that I captured Ryugeju. What did I do with them? I can recall it now that I try to remember. I believe I didn't think about it too much in order to have them killed.
多分望み通りにしたと思う。そういうのが好きな連中に言っておいたから。
どうしてクワガタさんは言ってくれなかったの? 約束してくれたのに。
Nozomi grabs my clothes. I shrug her away.
めんどくさかったからさ。
Nozomi sadly hangs her head, but doesn't say anything. She must know her position. She knows that she shouldn't go against me. What boring self-control. I put on my coat and leave the principal's office. The smell of blood on my coat wafts up to my nose. A cold wind is passing through the hallway. My white breath blows away as soon as I exhale. It's snowing a lot in the schoolyard. The vigilante corps members are working diligently with their hoods fluttering in the wind. They're making what I ordered, a stage for the execution tomorrow. On the ground are huge crosses made of metal. Oh god, what the fuck? We're going to thrust these black, hard, metallic crosses into the sinful land and crucify that beautiful fortune teller. Seriously? She used absurd ideas to confuse people and stain the land with blood. So we're going to burn her, using sacred fire, just like they did in medieval Europe. Her white... Oh, what? Celadon, her white Celadon skin will miserably get blisters every time the red tongues lick it, and just spurt out slimy liquid as it's inflamed and melts away. Humans don't easily die by having a fire made by their feet. They don't die even when everything below their knees is charred. Even people with the strongest of minds can only cry in pain as they're burned alive. They beg to be killed, but eventually lose their will to say anything and start to sob. They cry for 3 days and 3 nights. And hear people live for that long even when you impale them. Well, this is all something I learned from TV. Anyway, the scary sight should send the ethical message to everybody at the school that they shouldn't oppose me. That it can get scary if they do oppose me, and that they should obey the rules. There's no more enemies and the school's public morale is going down, so this will be a perfect performance. How wonderful.
作業状況はどうだい？
I asked Kato-kun, who's supervising the construction.
やや難航していますが、明日の処刑には間に合うでしょう。
He's overlooking the work with his usual diligence. They're removing the snow off the schoolyard and exposing the ground, but it seems the work is going slow because the snow is frozen hard.
ご苦労だね。
I touched the cold surface and the black cross lying on the ground. But something's weird. No, it's not like my conscience is hurting by executing that woman. This should be a fun event, but I'm feeling nothing deep down. If happiness is to fulfill one's wishes, I have completely satisfied the conditions for my happiness. I should be at the peak of my life, at the spring of my life. I've killed everyone who I hated and all who opposed me. The last in me, Ryugeju, ended up coming to me without us having to do anything, and everybody around me now would obey anything I tell them. I can make anything happen just by saying it. Men would give up their lives against fearful enemies with my order, and women would... What? Women would get their pussies wet when I ask them what their plans are for tonight. It sounds ridiculous, but it's all true. In reality, I've let men die meaninglessly and stuck my hands down women's underwear. Nobody opposes me, and everyone accepts me. Oh god, this guy's on a serious power trip. But why am I so irritated instead of being full of happiness? Because it's the Game of Thrones! I used to masturbate and think that I'd be happy if I could take the man's place and fuck the woman in a porno I downloaded off the net. That's the kind of person I used to be. But now I can easily obtain or have already lost interest in what I yearned for back then. Would he get happy if I traded places with him? I don't think he'd be happy. I was pure back then. Have I gone crazy now? But I guess that's good since you can't survive in this world unless you're crazy. Really, this place is a wonderful paradise. I laugh in my mind as I watch them work. They're all diligently and silently working to set up equipment whose only purpose is to enhance the cruelty of murder. What will they think when they see the fire and screams of the cross? What will they think about the great job they've done? Should they be satisfied with their success since they're all so diligent? God damn it. Seriously, I should upgrade to an office one day. That way everything could be pure, quiet, and so much more better. So much better. But, you know, that's why you have obstacles, to work around them. I want to get drunk, so I sit down and drink liquor. The air surges and the wind loudly sneers at me. I tell it to laugh at me, but it doesn't stop. I keep drinking. Someone comes to get me when I start to get drunk. I head over and see people I recognize and people I don't recognize standing there.
久しぶりです。その顔の布は
You know, it would be a lot better if it didn't play the music in the background, because it kind of ruins the atmosphere that they created at the beginning of the chapter. Because in the beginning it was all quiet and it was like, okay, yeah, you could just read it in peace. But now with the music, it's like, you don't really need it. One of the people I recognize, Tsukasa-kun, says this. His face is beautiful and composed as always. My face is the burnt face of a monster. Another person I recognize, Kawase-san, is standing beside him with a difficult expression. How can she be so quiet? Shouldn't she hate me more? I brutally killed her precious boyfriend. Ooh. Wow. I brutally killed your precious boyfriend. You may not know since you weren't watching, but shotguns are awesome. It was so gruesome, I'm sure nobody would notice, even if I mixed this and raised in the meat patties at McDonald's. I'm sure everybody would like the Tenemura burger. What? I'm sure everybody would like the Tenemura burger with a free smile and to go. Oh god. Well, there aren't any McDonald's around here anymore, though. I think not knowing something is kind sometimes, but it's a fragile kindness that crumbles away if I speak out right now. I guess kindness is beautiful because it's fragile. But I'm being kind by not telling her the cruel truth. I think my action is beautiful, but I'm sure nobody will ever know about it. What a shame. Oh, maybe I should tell her in that case. I'll say I'm not telling you what a brutal death your lover faced. Aren't I kind? I laugh and everybody looks at me. Oh, what were they talking about? Did I laugh when I shouldn't have? I should be more careful. They say they came from another town. They're making a wonderful proposal to work together and fight this harsh present situation. I give a subdued nod. The vigilante corps silently surrounds them. Quasi-san screams. Quasi-san shoves Aoi-chan away. Aoi-chan laughs happily as she runs away. She must think it's some kind of a game. How innocent of her. I watch as one of the vigilante corps goes after her. Tsukasa-kun jumps at him, but he's knocked back with a stick. He's raging around, so I stop him. He then sees everyone else there. Oh man, what trouble. We're going to need more crosses tomorrow. We're going to cause more trouble for Kato-kun. Yuka-san comes to me as I'm overseeing the work and then yells at me. peel off the hangnail on my finger as I answer.
裏切り者って何を言ってるんですか？
何別に。
I look at her and notice that she's lost her cool. This is the first time I've seen her this upset. So they really must be important friends to her. I'm sure I'm not the same. My heart's aching. I thought I didn't care about anything anymore too.
川瀬さんは田野さんと一緒に学校から逃げた裏切り者です。司君は今無事だってことは大地の会に降伏したんでしょうね。やっぱり裏切り者です。過言を残すのも嫌ですし、ここで始末しておくべきでしょう。
This guy has to be stopped.
始末。
Yuka-san repeats back in surprise. I look down at my hand again.
桑形さん、あなたは。
加藤君。
I just called his name, but he figures out my intention and grabs Yuka-san's shoulder. She fights back, but it's useless against someone trained like Kato-kun. She argues, but he starts dragging her towards the gym. I hear a smacking sound. I turn to see Yuka-san on the ground, holding her face. Kato-kun must have punched her because she was being too bothersome. Kato-kun continues to kick her in the chest as she lies there limp. My fingers are bleeding because I peeled off the hangnail too much. It hurts. It's getting chilly just sitting in a chair, so I warm myself up by the fire and start to doze off.
桑形さん。
I wake up to an urgent voice and see Kato-kun standing before me with a nervous face. I reply while thinking that a lot is happening today.
どうしたの？
体育館で騒ぎが。
Ah, yeah! Riot! Yeah! Goyukachi! Become my vessel of vengeance! I saved your boy. But in the process, we lost someone else. The cool guy. Damn it. He must die for Tattle-san!
Swan.
Kato-kun nods. So start protesting against the fact that I'm imprisoning the emissaries from outside. They're saying stupid things like, why am I doing such a thing to a friendly envoy, and why am I crushing the possibility of being saved?
僕の意図を説明した？
はい。
So why don't they understand? It's because you're a madman! You've gone mad with power! But cooperate to fight against the situation, huh? I think there was a similar proposal before. They said they wanted to cooperate so we could handle the situation. We did. What did we end up deciding then? And what was the result? It's quicker and easier to beat them instead of joining hands. They say cooperate, but you never know when they'll betray you. However, you can surely end all conflicts if you kill all the enemies. My theory wasn't wrong. That's what we chose to do, and we survived in the almost ideal way. We obtained this whole town without losing anything other than the people in the Vigilante Corps. In contrast, our enemies caused many non-combatants to die. So what kind of stupid people don't understand this idea and decide to oppose me on top of that?
この学校の秩序はかなり緩めに作ってあるよね。以前の社会よりもさ。でも一つだけ以前と変わらない仕組みがある。わかる？ Kato-kun is silent. I think he knows, but I continue anyway. ここを治めてるのはルールだってこと。ルールに逆らった場合には相応の報いを受けてもらう。
しかし
例外はないよ。何人か集めて力ずくでも鎮圧するんだ。怪我人が出たって構わない。 もしそれでも俺様フリーダムをエンジョイしたいっていう人がいたら、特別に明日の幸せファイヤーダンスのメンバーに加えてあげても。
Katakun hesitates, but I persuade him, and he takes a few members that were working to go to the gym with him. At first, there are angry roars and screams.
逆らうことは許しません。ここまで来た以上は我々と一連卓勝だ。
Wow. Katakun's lively voice echoes to the gym and the place falls silent. I laugh since this line is so old-fashioned. After a while, I hear another scream. When I can tell and see someone went against them and they punched him too hard. It's sad that they don't believe in us. I can provide them with a reasonably peaceful life if they just follow the rules. We've never made a mistake in that regard. After all, why don't they understand? They must be stupid. Well, I don't really care. Say, bad acting 101. I'm getting sleepy again, so I decide to resume my nap. Hope you wake up with a gun in your face, motherfucker. The dissenting opinions stubbornly remain even in the late afternoon. It seems someone even tried to let the emissaries escape, so Katakun and the others have gathered up these people and started watching over them. The vigilante corps members all have painful expressions on their faces. This is bad. The people who are doing the right thing are the ones suffering. Exactly! Tsukasa! Tanamura! Everybody's suffering because of you, jackass. I decide to use a megaphone and persuade the people inside the gym. I first tell them that there's no proof that these people really are emissaries. There's even a possibility that they're people Amako Tsukasa set up as emissaries. They're too much risk if we leave them be. Even if they are real emissaries, that has nothing to do with it. Do with if we can trust them or not. If their goal isn't to cooperate, they are overwhelming risk again. Oh god. Dude. In contrast, there isn't anything to gain for cooperating with the people on the other side of the mountain. It does nothing for two groups without resources to cooperate, so there was no reason to welcome them from the beginning. Wow. The TV and radio aren't working, so there shouldn't be any functional talents around here. First of all, I don't intend to execute them. The only ones to be executed tomorrow are betrayers and members of the Daiichi Society. So don't be so hysterical and obey us. If you're still against our policy, we'll consider you a traitor. They grow quiet for the time being, but it's obvious from their expressions that they aren't convinced. I'm troubled. Why won't they understand? Maybe they don't believe that I can really do what I say. I'll probably need to put on some sort of performance. I told Kato-kun that I'm going to the club rooms where we keep the hostages. There, the survivors of the Daiichi Society are being violated by our energetic guys. What? Oh. The survivors of the Daiichi Society are being violated. Okay.
流下樹ってのにはまだ手を出してないの。
I asked the one taking a rest.
へえ、代わりにあの女が何でもするっていうので、それが面白くて。
Wow. They tried to tell her, but she's like, no, I must do this. He laughs and points to the naked woman in the middle of the group. Wasn't she someone of high status in the Daiichi Society called Hoshino? She's completely messy and covered in bruises because of all the punching and raping. Wow. Ryugetsu, you could have avoided all this shit if you just decided to run away. Go into exile. You go into exile for a while, you get stronger, you make an army, a better army, you come back, and you run over to school. That's how you play the Game of Thrones. You don't just self-sacrifice yourself, man. Come on, that is just stupid. No one does that. Even a beautiful woman can look miserable in this situation.
まあ、やるとしてもあんまりあざとかつけないでよ。綺麗なのを焼いた方が盛り上がるからさ。
分かってますよ。それにあれだけの女、もしやるなら桑形さんが最初だって決めてるんです。あの川瀬ひばりの方も最初にやってくださいよ。俺たちはその後で待ってるんですから。
変に気を使わないでよ。それに2人は無理だって。最近どうも弱くてね。
I smile bitterly and look inside the cell. Inside it are Sakuza-kun, Tsukasa-kun, Kawase-san, and oh, Ryugeji was in there too. She looks lifeless as she's being embraced by Kawase-san. They look tired, but they're still glaring at me.
どうしたんですか川瀬さん。龍下寺とか嫌いじゃなかったの？それとも檻の中で友情でも芽生えたの？
Kawase-san doesn't answer but glares at me even more. With hatred. She knows what you did. She knows. It's like, dude, she should take up Tanamura's sword and just kill him with it. That would be so awesome. Except that dumbass Amako, he didn't grab it when he was at the church. Or did he? I don't think he did, though. That would be so poetic. It's like Hibari takes up Tanamura's sword and just like strikes him down in revenge. She avenges Tanamura with it.
それにしたってこの女はすごいな。気持ちよさそうに眠っていい身分ですね。
何言ってるのよ。あんたたちがやったんでしょ。知らないの？目の前でこんなことしてもう気が狂わんばかりに泣いてたんだから。ほんとあんたらって最低だわ。
相変わらず異性のいいことです。でもいつまで続くことやら。
And they were friends too, yo. Oh snap. I joke and laugh. I signal the guard and have him open the cell.
何するのよ。
川瀬さんも目の前でこんなことをされてて自分だけ助かるのは辛くないですか？辛いですよね。
どういう意味？
その罪悪感を僕が背負ってあげようって言うんですよ。まあ僕がきっかけ作らないと他の人たちやりにくいって言うし、やっぱり川瀬さんがもともと仲間だったっていう罪悪感があるのかな。そんなの気にしなくていいのに。
I grab Kawase-san's leg and pull her towards me. Her skirt pulls up against the ground and her white knees become visible.
やめて！
桑形さん。
Tsukasa-kun tries to come near us, but one of my guys hits him with a stick and pins him down. He bites his lip and looks up at me.
司君はメインディッシュです。特別な催しを考えてあるから楽しみに待ってるといいよ。じゃあ川瀬さんもおとなしく。いや、おとなしくない方が僕は面白いんですけどね。
I laugh as she stops flinging her legs and freezes in fear. I grab her soft calf with both my hands and pull her towards me. The guys around me quickly pin her upper body down. What wonderful teamwork.